Hello everyone, welcome to another episode 2 Set Violin. Now you might be wondering, why are we out here? This is not the studio.
Fun fact, this is where we study for music university. How long ago was this?
Almost a decade ago. Can you believe that? 2023, I graduated 2013, it's a decade. 100%.
No way. Well, today is a very, very exciting and special episode. We were invited back to our uni to adjudicate as music adjudicators. So there's a competition going on tonight called the Bach Prize, which is basically a competition at the Con for string players specializing in Bach repertoire. We have both done the competition. I think you won the competition, right?
I did, yes, I did once.
But yeah, never would I have thought 10 years ago that we would be back here on the other side.
I know.
I'm kind of nervous, a little bit excited, but yeah.
Let's see. Whoa. Wow, we made it in here. This is the Ian Hanger Recital Hall.
We have done many performances, competitions, workshops, recitals, and recordings back in our day here.
I remember the days when I brought my violin here, I came in, hands are shaking, walk on stage here. The adjudicators were up there, ready to judge me.
Please play.
Why
Why am I getting nervous? I'm just used to being nervous in this room. Too much association.
The bad associations in this place.
By the way, this is Michelle, our teacher when we're here at the uni.
Hello.
Good to see them back again.
Michelle's been giving us some tips on how to adjudicate, so I think
Just be yourselves.
yeah.
Were you judging the year I was in Bach Prize?
I could have been.
I just know that I didn't win the Bach Prize.
So you're not qualified.
I'm not qualified. Well, just go with Brett. Whatever Brett decides, but yeah.
So does that mean we blame you tonight if we don't like the decision?
Oh yeah, I like that.
All right, we're here ready to judge. Let's get the adjudication game on.
So the first person played alma and jig, and you can see at this point we're trying not to write too much and we're just trying to listen. But you'll see later down the line that changes.
Damn, that's some high pressure environment. Who's next? Okay, so at this point I'm like, wow, Eddie's full on writing. And I was like, no, I don't know if we have much time. I want to hear the next person. I didn't write at all.
There's no rules, but basically you want to give some good feedback, obviously, but then you want to think of something constructive to say.
Yes.
So I was just trying to think about what can I say in the least amount of words and space that I feel like could help them. And so I'm trying to think about that and try to form like these nice sentences, and then I see Brett's just done. I'm like, oh crap.
See, look,
You're not even writing, bro.
Yeah, I dropped my paper and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I felt bad. I was like, should I just keep moving on?
And I was like, yeah, I didn't even write.
And that's when we realized, you know what, we need to start writing during the performance. So the second person was playing Laura and Gavotte from the third E major partito.
Yeah, at this point, all my focus is trying to listen, but also remember what the previous performer did. So you can see us writing frantically after the second performer.
By the way, apologies for the occasionally out of focus camera. We're too busy thinking about Adjudicator that we didn't set it up properly.
So the third one played Siciliana and Presto.
I promise I'm not falling asleep. I'm just closing my eyes so I can focus on hearing better.
Yes. I was just trying to listen and be an adjudicator and stay as still as possible. I kind of felt the pressure for some reason being an adjudicator. We've been there, so you can feel the nerves.
Mm.
Yeah, bro. What do I write?
Yeah, I remember at this point, I'm like, dude, there's 3 people. I'm like, everyone had their different strengths and weaknesses, and I can't remember how the first person sounded exactly by the time I finished hearing the third person.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I was just freaking
We're
out.
just whispering to each other, God, this is hard.
So the fourth player was double bass,
Prelude and Saraband.
which is adapted from Cello Suite. I remember at this point I was thinking like, if a double bass is slightly out of tune compared to a violinist, is that weighted equal or different? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some double basses say, or cellos say, it's easier on big instruments.
No way.
No, because
The margin error is
the margin of error is small, so if you go there, you'll get it. Whereas a violin, you have to kind of, even to the point where you have to wiggle your fingers a bit to hit the right note.
Yeah, but at the same time,
But okay, disclaimer.
proportionally, you still have to move
Yeah,
so
so
much
it's like
further.
further distance, but more space to hit the note. Violin is closer distance, but just a millimeter could send you off. I was thinking, man, we got like 3 more to go.
I remember by this time I was starting to take notes, dot points during the playing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll form nice sentences afterwards. So number 5 was another violinist. Everyone was smiling at this point behind, and we're smiling too. And that's because this guy, when he walked on stage, he was dressed in a full immaculate suit, and then he had his violin, and he goes,
Yeah.
and he waved at us.
That was pretty cool. And then you guys will hear this.
Yeah.
Watch this. Yeah, I kind of like that.
What a legend,
What a
bro.
legend. He said it. Kind of broke the ice a bit. I was like, good job.
If I could go back in time and I had to do like competitions, I'd do that too now.
I'll do that too.
Sibelius Violin Concerto, first movement.
Yeah, because I'd rather have my voice be heard first than my first note. Okay, in case.
Dude, the double side
Did
eye
you see my side eye? Yeah.
Like 1, 2, like you did it twice, like, bro. Why are you looking at me?
I tried to stay very still.
I reflexively immediately went to grab
The
the
score.
score to check because
Yeah.
like something sounded wrong, and then I realized no, there's a bunch of people behind me
Yeah.
watching this. It's just the wrong note. It's fine.
So what happened was there was a wrong note. It's pretty crazy how even though we haven't played this piece for years, like over a decade, we can still remember the
yeah,
notes.
but look, honestly though, that did not go into my adjudication at all.
Yeah,
I did
no.
not care about the wrong note.
Yeah,
It's just funny.
It's just funny. I kept looking up. Anyway, and then it's played well.
You played very well.
Very well.
So now I have the 6th contestant, and this was a viola player. She was playing suite number 5, prelude and jig. It's a cello suite adapted for viola because viola doesn't have any good Bach stuff to play.
Oh! No, I'm just kidding. Your expression. Did you guys pick up Eddie's subtle facial expression?
The fun thing is this violist actually played really, really well. And I totally understand this. We've all been there, you know, the first chord out of tune, the first octave, and it's a pure octave. It's so obvious when it's out of tune.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. And the other side note too was, as we were going to the competition earlier, we were preparing, so we're listening to some of the repertoire. The person that we listened to also played the first octave out of tune. I remember when we were listening to it, we were like, oh bro, if that happens tonight,
Yeah.
we'll try so hard not to like react.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it actually happened. That's why I'm just like,
It's just so relatable. Like I've been there. We've all been there.
but I was trying so hard not to like look at you.
I know, and look at
I just wanted to be like, you know when I did this? You know why I was stressed out?
What?
That was the moment I realized this viola player is good.
Yeah.
And there was a first point in this whole competition that I was like, is there a possibility that we're gonna have to award first place to a viola player? And I was stressed, bro. I was like, no, come on, violins.
Yeah.
You guys say,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Big sound. Yeah, I remember the violist had a really big projection and just really open sound.
good sound, good phrasing, expressive. That's my nod of approval from a violinist.
Yeah.
The cardinal sin. We don't know the cello suites. I'm sorry. Okay, the thing though is the prelude has a slow intro and then a completely separate like fugue like
Yeah.
section, and so it just sounded like 2 movements. I'm just glad to
And
say
you're about
that
to clap.
I did it. Look. I stopped. I was like, let's go. I did it.
And look, everyone laughed. That blurred faces up, but everyone's just smiling here. This is the funny. And then someone put their hands up like this. Oh no. Oh, that is pretty funny.
Well, our last contestant was a cellist.
The cellist plays prelude and saraband.
This is me looking at the cello music now. I'm like, I don't want to mess up again. I don't want to clap the wrong moment. I need to get the music. Legit, I was thinking that. I was like, it sounds like it's coming to an end, but I don't know it. I'm going to check to make sure I don't clap at the wrong time.
All right, so that's it for the competition. Now we go to the deliberation.
Bro, I have no idea.
Wow, that was so hard.
It's so hard. Do you have a clear winner in your mind?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Alma was nice, but she played too little. She needed to project, have a more soloistic sound.
She had really smooth and creamy sound. Just a bit more confidence, just play more.
Intonation was good.
The octaves were clean.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes a bit tense, especially the vibrato.
You had some colors there, but maybe even more.
Yeah.
Just be more confident, just kind of, you had the right idea and just keep going with it.
Yeah. It's hard for me because I played the Sicilian and I know it's so hard. So in my mind, I naturally want to be more lenient because I know just how much harder that, for me, that piece is for the rest. For me, she definitely had a more soloistic sound compared to the first two. But then sometimes the chords, it gets a bit crushed. But that's just like a Sicilian, it's just like, it's so hard.
I wrote confident, full of sound. Rushed a little bit, right?
In the Presto?
Presto.
Yes.
But I do that too. I get it why they rush. I remember the Presto kind of felt like it could have been a bit of more breathing space.
I think it was the nerves.
It was the nerves, and I know that feeling. It's like just this on the edge. I like the sound, smooth.
Good sound.
I think maybe just the double stops must be tricky on double bass, right?
Yeah.
She missed it a little bit, but otherwise the sound's really good.
I felt while the sound is really nice and phrasing is nice, it's sometimes just the intonation and the chords and the shifting just disjointed that a little bit too much for me.
The coordination wasn't quite there
Yeah,
sometimes.
it'll be an unintended accent as he shifts up. But I mean, you guys have to travel like a kilometer. I thought his pacing was really nice. He has really nice bow changes, bow control.
There was a lot of bow. I like that confidence.
But his intonation was a little bit not too centered for me. It was a little bit like enough for me to like.
I'll pay attention
pay
to it,
attention
right?
to
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I was impressed by the violas.
The viola had a great sound.
That's what I think.
It's quite open.
Great sound and something about the way she's played just a bit more like.
More bow, yeah.
I think her opening was good for the prelude. I thought she had a nice balance of like, it's not overly romantic, but still like a good expressive sound. But towards the second half of the prelude, I think I lost a bit of the phrasing. Like I couldn't tell where the big picture.
When she changes chords, it kind of stops, the sound stops. So if she kept the sound going, it would have been a lot better. But it happened kind of more than once, so that's why I kind of picked up on it. But overall, it was a good sound.
It was okay. Her contact could do a bit of work. A lot of the pedal notes bits, her bass G was just so much louder than the melody.
Moments of great tone, just sometimes she loses the contact when she gets to the high part. So kind of this sound kind of diminuendos away, rather than sometimes the phrase could be going forward.
What do you think?
I'm not judging, I don't know.
Bro, you're the one that won Bach Prize. I need your help, bro. Dude, I'm stressed. Bro, I don't know.
I hate adjudicating so hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. Competition sucks.
Yeah. I just want to say, first of all, everyone, you guys did an amazing job. We were saying earlier today that, Brett, you've won the Bach Prize. I didn't win the Bach Prize because Bach is so scary and traumatizing. I'm pretty sure I just got shaky bow for the whole time, I remember. Obviously, interpretation is so subjective, enjoyment is subjective. Even on a technical level, is one A flat out of tune versus one dodgy string crossing, which one's, how many points is each one? You can't really do that. So I guess if we make the wrong call, don't hate us. No, just kidding. But to say really, like, competitions are great. They inspire us to practice and do better. And I always think we wouldn't be able to have done what we do if it wasn't for all the times we played on this stage. Having toured the world, all the concert stages we've been on, somehow this still feels more stressful.
It is more stressful.
So this is as stressful as it gets.
So stressful.
That's the great thing about competitions. It really kind of accustom you to that pressure. At the end of the day, we do have to decide on someone. I think everyone played amazingly, and you all should feel really proud of yourselves. On that note,
the winner of this year's Bach Prize is Ella. Congratulations. Awesome playing.
well played, well played.
Awesome playing. Who would have known we picked a violist?
I know, right? that was our first time becoming music adjudicators for competition.
And it's funny, it's the competition we've done before, so interesting times.
Yeah, it was really fun. It gave me a huge appreciation of what the task is like for adjudicators, because it's hard listening to so much music and trying to remember and compare. It's not like you can go back and re-listen to it, right? Like, it's just in that moment.
Exactly, and every part of you wants to give a prize to everyone, but because it's a competition, you have to pick a winner.
Yeah. You always try to tell yourself like, hey, competitions don't really mean you're better or worse. They're just competitions, right? Like the times I've lost, I've tried to tell myself that doesn't necessarily mean I played worse. And the times that I have won, it doesn't necessarily mean I was better. That was just how it is. Being the adjudicator, it really feels that times 10 now. I think we did our best to choose the person we felt should have won, but it feels weird to say that they were the best musician there. Like in that moment, that snapshot of all the different pros and cons and all the different memory biases, that was the most objective thing we tried to come up with. But who knows? One of them might have just been slightly more nervous on the day, or like some other factor.
Moral of the story is, if you don't win, don't worry. If you win, yeah, but don't worry.
Yeah, that.
At the end of the day, it's just your own personal journey, personal progress. And if you want to push yourself more, practice more.
Speaking of adjudicators too, come watch our world tour. This is a secret hint, but I don't want to say too much, but
check out the tickets and links below. We'll see you there. Sign up for the cities that you want to go to. And once you've done that, go practice.